Good evening, Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you. Back in the USA Severe Weather Network, the Network Center, we still have another tornado emergency to talk about again. So right now, I'm gonna try to get Vice Forecaster Isaac Shop in with us right now, so he can actually help out. This is continue to get worse here now. We have a tornado emergency again. So right now, we want to continue to track this. So we're on. Yeah, folks, we got a tornado emergency to talk about right now. So I'm just reading what Isaac's saying. So we got a tornado emergency. So let me take a look at this. Starting to look. So let me zoom in a little closely. This tornado warning that goes in effect the Columbia area down there. This storm could produce very strong. So let's see, the tornado warning has been canceled for Childress County almost. So we got this new tornado warning that's a 6:30 for South Central Tuscaloosa County in eastern Alabama. South Central Shelby County in central Alabama to 6:30 at 5:40 at 5:49 a a confirmed and large destructive tornado was over near Columbia, moving in northeast at 50 miles an hour. Hazardous tornado emergency for the Columbia area. So please take cover. If you're in the path of the storm, this is a particularly dangerous situation. So you got to take these storms very seriously. And these storms are very strong tonight. They could produce pretty strong signs of rotation if you live in that area. Run through 6:30 this evening. These storms could produce some tornadoes and all kind of sort of stuff. We'll continue the track warnings. Something else just got issued. Severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like a tornado continues down here, and we'll continue to watch these storms really closely. Just in a second, we want to kind of want to wait on Isaac to jump on just in a second with us so he could probably help. tornado warning that continues about 6:30. At 5:55, I confirmed and largely destructive tornado was near Columbus, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So, hazardous tornado. This is a deadly tornado. That's what the main thing with the storm is. Pull up velocity, and yeah, that's strongest. You live in Tuscaloosa, you need to be shaken shelter. You're under a tornado warning that runs to about 6:30 this evening. Storms just continue to develop today, and these are the ones I'm having more concern with of the supercell thing. Some rotation. I mean, this one could get itself together. And this is a side we've got to have to really watch. Very tight rotation right over here. So right now, if you just join me, we have it.
Okay. You can hear me okay? I
Yes, I can hear you.
now I'm going to refresh my data here. I know we've had several tornado emergencies here. There's one now in Shelby County, Talladega County, including Columbiana. And yes, a very tight rotation with this now. And I think, yeah, Columbiana looks like it's already passed. But yes, I mean, definitely a very violent tornado with this as of 6:03. Columbiana confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. This is no longer in tornado emergency status, but still Childersburg, Wilsonville, Harpersville, and Gaston Steam Plant in the direct path of this. I will point out on correlation coefficient
More storms
now,
are coming, right?
there is still a distinct debris signature with that. I have to download some more radar data somehow. There we go. So again, I'll show you what I've been following on radar here with this cell, and we've had a number of developments so far. I'm going to share my screen there, and I'll show you what I've been following on radar. See that this tornado has passed right over Calera, following Highway 25 into the Columbiana area. Now that debris signature is tracking right into Wilsonville. So you folks, Wilsonville, Childersburg, we need you in your safe place now. Again, very violent tornado has tracked through
this is
southern parts of the Birmingham area.
To us tonight, if you don't listen to us, you could die from us, right, Isaac?
Yeah, right. And I'm going to check some other Twitter feeds and everything while I get your screen back on there.
I'm going to do.
But yes, I will point out SPC. I'm going to try and fetch some more data. It looks like they have expanded the high risk area. Again, the latest from the Weather Service here, or yeah, they have a smaller MD out. This is following with the this is the cell that is moving through Columbiana into Childersburg, Alabama now. Or has
we see a new tornado watch.
Wilsonville, Childersburg in the direct path of this. The Storm Prediction Center has been indicating here still very high low-level moisture returns, and the low-level moisture is actually trending upward. Yeah, the low-level moisture is trending upward. As of 5 p.m., low-level moisture is still on the upward trend, so and still very high helicity and still a lot of wind shear in this. So we do expect this tornado to continue to persist. It probably will. If again, you may get some. Again, we've been. I think this. It tracked right into Calera, and now in through Columbiana. Again, very heavy debris with that. But again, the environment is still much primed for tornadoes ahead of this particular cell. And by 7 p.m., this will be tracking, I believe this will be tracking south of the Anniston area. So again, please, if you live in Anniston, Cleburne, Jacksonville, areas further east,
shelter.
Again, the Storm Prediction Center has this area monitored. And again, looks like it seems again with
And Storm Prediction Center has been doing some other things today too, Isaac. They've been monitoring for storms in western Kentucky. Already starting to see one starting to rotate a little bit.
Yeah, and I will point out we have severe warnings
in
into
Marshall County, Kentucky.
Yeah, I was going to say right now they got one in Hardin, LaRue, and Nelson counties. That cell appears to be producing some small hail and strong downburst winds. And again, what I'm following on radar here, I'm going to download some additional data here, and while I share myself again.
Will we see a new tornado watch, Isaac?
There is potential there, and see intense hail. There was an intense hail core there. I don't know if we had any severe hail reports with that, but I will point out this is pretty much paralleling or has tracked across the I-65 corridor. We'll be tracking into parts of Spencer, Bardstown, the Nelson, Spencer counties here, and into Shelby County and possibly into Henry County within the next hour, the way things are looking with that. And I will point out, we do have some instability. Yeah, you can see, I'm going to loop the Paducah radar site for a bit. We can see we do have some
that's good
storms with some very healthy updrafts down around, Memphis.
And add Illinois storm watch in here too?
Yeah, we will get there, but you can see there's a corridor of looks like, again, the temperatures are in the 60s dew point. The surface dew points are in the 50s ahead of this. But yeah, the surface dew points are in the 60s ahead of this. So again, it looks like instability is a little bit on the lower side when you get into southern Illinois, parts of southeast Missouri, and west Kentucky. Behind this area of thunderstorms, again, this is where you can see there's some surface-based convection there just east of Hardin County, Illinois, into Union County, east of Cave-in Rock. You can see there's a thunderstorm that is possibly producing some hail. This will be tracking into the Evansville vicinity within the next hour. And again, just looking at the observations here, the temperatures, there isn't as much low-level moisture and surface instability with this either. A lot of what we're seeing is down here, closer to the Ohio River, and obviously points well south into the Tennessee Valley. And what I'm concerned about is some of these thunderstorms developing from the southwest. And I'm going to get a better view of this over the Memphis Doppler radar site, and we can see some of the obviously a lot of the severe storms we're dealing with are down here, but we can see there is a little bit of surface-based convection around here, and likely that's being backed by some lower instability. And again, a lot of the convergence and that we're getting and enhancing with that trough, again, that's very broad, but we're seeing a lot of the nasty thunderstorms down in here. Obviously, a long track tornado that is. We've had two different long track tornadoes track through Bibb, Shelby, into again this vicinity here. We've been watching very closely. And once again, I will advise, still there will be a window, again, with some of these storms, especially along the Ohio River there, east and south of Paducah, and we'll be tracking into the Evansville area fairly soon. Also, keeping a close eye on this area as well. I'm going to see what other developments we get with this mesoanalysis area. I think this is the area of concern that the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted. Again, the severe thunderstorm threat, it will increase there. And again, we're seeing some strong updrafts, and these are some very healthy thunderstorms tracking through this general area. And I'm going to download some more VIL or some enhanced echo top data. See, these are relatively low topped. I was going to say modestly topped, rather. Some of these storm heights are well over 30,000 feet. So I mean, these are lower tops. So what that tells me is there could be some small hail, maybe hail up to quarter size, maybe some larger hail embedded with that. But what I expect ultimately, just what I'm seeing here, just the storm heights. Obviously, it has to download more composite radar data, composite heights, and you can see we got a very healthy updraft with that cell in Marshall County. And what I expect is, again, that storm will probably end up being severe warned for hail or potential for some hail with that. Not sure if there's a high possibility of seeing 1 inch hail necessarily with that. But again, something we will definitely keep a very close eye on. But again, we're seeing some fairly tall thunderstorms, some very large hail and damaging winds, up to ping pong ball sized hail. Officially, 2 inch hail report actually. Spotters have reported up to 2 inch hail with this cluster of storms now tracking into southern Kentucky. Again, across again, east of Springfield, Tennessee, along Interstate 65 here, 2 miles north of White House, we've had a report of 2 inch hail. This would be north of the Nashville area.
Wow.
Some again, we've had a downtown Nashville, or 1 mile west or northwest of the downtown Nashville area.
All right, they just canceled that tornado warning now for Bibb County, so that's some good news.
Yeah. So the good news is, again, the tornado. We don't have any tornado warnings from what I'm seeing here, and I believe those polygons will be out of the way, or it has been allowed to expire officially. So, again, the tornado warning. So what I'm seeing on radar here, the rotation, I'm very impressed. The Doppler radar here in Birmingham, a large tornado just struck just within a couple miles south of here.
All
and
right,
the radar
we just got a new warning in place now.
New tornado warning. It must be following for this area of rotation.
No severe thunderstorm.
Okay, yeah, it must be being replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. But what I'm seeing on radar here, you can see the rotation is broadening out, and obviously this is the couplet. See how considerably weakened it is now. You may still have some small debris embedded within there. That's where you gotta. That's where you likely have a downdraft with that. And again, some concentration of particulate matter. It could be debris. You never know. But again, see, this is the remains of that couplet from that tornado that has struck Calera. And again, it's considerably weakened. Shear with that is probably just about 20 or so knots, maybe 20 to 30 knots. So again, not as impressive. We've had shear of up to well over 100 knots. I'll show you the initial radar scan that I picked up. And again, you can see the inbound velocities here. We're upwards of 80 or so knots, maybe a bit higher. But you can see the wind shear with this was coupled in at times over as high as 100 knots. And when that indicates that, the wind speeds associated with that could be much higher. And again, the good news is no longer any severe weather concern. Again, the environment with this, again, you still got all that surface heating, so it may very well recycle, but it looks as if the tornado threat for the time being has diminished with that cell. So again, we're still monitoring these thunderstorms here in Mississippi. Some of these cells here, these are more clustered out, I will point out. And you can see the dew points and the temperatures are still in the 70s. And I think we still got some of that corridor of fairly high instability. It's again, just right around here. So again, we still have time to see some of these thunderstorms. Again, the surface-based convection, depending on how much enhancing we're getting with that trough down into here. Again, these storms could definitely we could see a couple more intense tornadic supercells. So this is kind of the day where you get a supercell that clears the area and brings about sunshine behind it. That could still
Then more
enhance
comes
the
in.
instability of that. Yeah, again, still something to point out. But again, just watching fairly closely, you folks in parts of West Tennessee, west into Middle Tennessee, and especially into parts
Yeah,
of Kentucky as
I want to
well.
point something else out too. Yeah, and this is not our only chance of severe weather. I was going to show everybody this today too, but just showed up this morning from the Storm Prediction Center. If you, especially where we got Illinois Storm Watch page up too, is we do the Storm Prediction Center did highlight Saturday. It's going to get so warm out again, and this is what we got to watch is another storm system. I'll share screens for you quick. And this is what we have to watch for Saturday, Isaac. Look at that.
And I was going to say they have a broad risk area, and I will point out the indications are with this. Again, looks like we will have quite a bit of instability to work with. Again, it's like in terms of how broad it is, not how intense it is. Like with this, we'll point out the probabilistic outlook here. Again, just what I'm seeing right now. We're at the 15%. So again, some of these vicinities here. Looks like again, like we got a lot of mixed layer cape with that. So and it's ahead of the low level jet. So when you get that, it can really enhance your wind shear, and you get those downdrafts that may erode the capping inversion that you get at the ground. I'm not highly confident enough to say that we will get some risk upgrade this step, but we'll see how. I was going to say. Likely may be super set, but it's that. But I will point out
in.
Again.
Yeah. We're getting a storm in Morganfield.
Yeah, Morganfield, Kentucky. That would be. If you give me 1 second.
Here, I'll show you on my map. Okay. Here, I'll show you on my map. Okay. See, we're getting a little storm getting going over it. Not a warning, but it could. 70% of Morganfield going under a warning. All right, 7% of Morganfield going under a warning. 7%.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that was part of Hardin County. I was going to say that we do have some convection here brewing in eastern parts of or southeast Illinois as well. And again, I will point out, the observation here in Harrisburg. We're broken overcast at a little under 3,000 feet there. And again, that indicates that we may have some mixed layer instability with these, but I think what we're kind of looking at is less of a severe threat associated with this, maybe some gusty winds at times. But this cell in Morganfield does appear to have the possibility of severe hail. This will be in Henderson and the Evansville area within the next less than 30 minutes.
So again, New warning from Mobile County, Alabama. Just a severe thunderstorm warning for 60 miles of wind gusts.
Yeah, and I will point out that you got a lot of storms. They're not as discrete and supercellular ahead of.
Look at that.
And again, I was
Little
going to say
notch there.
there
We're
is
getting red next to green.
no that is not that is fairly broad. The wind shear with that is not as high, so I don't want to advertise the high possibility of a tornado with that. But I will point out, I think the greatest threat, um, I would mostly focus on. I would mostly focus on again parts of West Tennessee, North Mississippi, parts of Alabama. I definitely keep a very close eye on that. Over the next several hours, that's where you got a lot of instability brewing ahead of that.
All right.
But yes,
Newman County. All right. This storm up here in Morganfield's really getting stronger because I'll show you on radar. It's really getting strong.
yeah, I would say a pretty intense updraft with that. Probably some hail, maybe some wind shear with that.
Pull that up.
So if anything, you got a intense updraft, strong updraft, and maybe an intense super cold air from aloft with it. So if anything, you're probably getting some hail and an intense damaging wind, and we'll see if that interacts at the ground and erodes the inversion with that, and that could, with the wind shear that we're seeing at the low levels. I've looked at some of the some of the model guidance here.
Yeah.
Short term, and
Got some.
there could be. Yeah, we'll definitely keep a very close eye on that, but yeah. I will definitely follow with everything that I'm seeing now, but I got to take a feed break. So if when we have additional warnings and developments here, I will be back and we'll convey more information to the page. But again, please be weather aware and have a way to receive warnings, especially if you're in the threat area in northern Mississippi, the Tennessee Valley, northern Alabama, parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. Definitely have a way to receive those warnings and stay tuned. We will be covering all these developments here, and